Hi guys, it's Annie. Welcome back to BloomTV. Today I am going to be doing my TBR shelf tour, and this isn't actually going to be a tour of my actual physical TBR shelf, which I do have. I have a shelf and a half filled of books that I haven't read and that are on my TBR, because I don't like having them integrated with my other books because it's just more clear for me, and I'm not going to show you the actual shelf, as I said, because it's really bad lighting down there. It's one of my bottom shelves on one of my bookcases, and it's just bad lighting, and also I film on a laptop so it's not very easy, so I'm just going to hold them up and show you one by one. And this is part of a project called 0 by 16, which I am taking part in, and it is an aim to get your TBR pile down to 0 by 2016. Now, if this was at the beginning of 2014, this wouldn't have been a problem for me. It was only really in 2014 that I got into buying a lot of books. I've always bought books. It's always been something that I've done ever since I was younger. I've always liked buying books or had books bought to me, luckily, as well as going to the library. I'm still an avid user of my library, and I just really, but now it's kind of getting ridiculous. I have 29 books here, and hopefully, and some of them have just been on there for so long, and I just want to not have that restriction of having a lot of books. I think it's great to have a lot of books, but not this number. Also, this year I am hoping to get my actual TBR shelf on GOODREADS down to, which is now at 50 books, down to 0 as well, or at least down to like 10 or 5, because that shelf on GOODREADS isn't my actual TBR books that I have to read. That's books that I want to read. And I'm in the process of getting that down, either by taking books off there, ordering them from the library, or buying them, or even borrowing them from friends. So yeah, and I just thought, as part of this kind of 0 by 16 project, I'd show you what's on my TBR at the moment, and some of these have been on there for like years. So if you could tell me like a book that you think, oh, you should move that up to your TBR, like you should prioritise that book, then please tell me. And you can find 0 by 16 on Twitter, and I'll leave the Twitter page in the link below. So I'm just going to start with the first pile, which is on the chair next to me. I'm just going to go through them quickly. And so I have Paper Aeroplanes by Dawn O. Porter. You'll have recognised that if you saw my February TBR. I have Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers, the first book in the His Fair Assassin trilogy. I have The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon, the second book in the Bone Season series, I believe. I then have Goose by Dawn O. Porter, the sequel to Paper Aeroplanes, which was a gift from my lovely friend Alice, Flourish and Blotted. I'm going to say that again. Belzar by Meg Wolitzer. Well, I'm not quite sure which way to hold that, but yes. I then have Various Positions by Martha Shabas. Please pronounce me, or please tell me how to say that properly in the comments. Jane by April Lindner. The Vincent Boys by Abby Glines, with one of the most embarrassing covers that I own. Snapshot by Angie Stanton. If you saw my January wrap-up, you'll know that I might not even read this. I might get rid of this at some point. The Beautiful and the Damned, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is in the Penguin Classics edition. They did all of Fitzgerald's books in this hardback edition, and they are beautiful. The Rhythmatist by Brandon Sanderson. Waistcoats and Weaponry by Gail Carriger, the third book in her Finishing School series. For Darkness Shows the Stars by Diana Peterfreund, again, I think it's the first in a series. The Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. This is the third and final book in the Gemma Doyle trilogy. And then, moving on to my second pile, we have The Tenant of Wildfield Hall by Anne Bronte. This is in the Penguin English Library edition. Again, a book I've had on my TBR for so long. Another one, Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, again in the same Penguin English Library edition classics thing. I then have Morris by E.M. Forster this is a very old Penguin edition that belongs to my mum. I'm actually going to read this soon because it's one of my books that my mum chose for me to read, because it's one of her favourite books, and I really want to read this soon because I love E.M. Forster. I haven't read that one yet. I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. This is a non-fiction autobiography book about the Nobel Prize Peace winner. I think that's how you say it. Gosh, so uneducated. This is my friend's. It belongs to her family. I've had this for months, still haven't read it, and I need to give it back. I have Deborah Mitford, Duchess of Devonshire, Wait for Me, stories and memoirs. Again, that's non-fiction. I then also have Women in Dark Times by Jacqueline Rose. This is a non-fiction feminist. It's not a collection of essays, it's just a whole novel, well, non-fiction book. I then have a graphic novel, the only one on my TBR, The Wicked and the Divine, the first volume in the first act by Gillan, McKelvey, Wilson and Cowles. Those are 4 separate authors. And then I have the book I've been reading since July, A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. I'm 320 pages through it. I have been reading this on and off for about 6 months. I will finish this in 2015. I also have A Storm of Swords Part 1 by George R.R. Martin, the first part in the 3rd volume of A Song of Ice and Fire. I have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I have The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I have Rebel Angels, the 2nd book in the Gemma Doyle trilogy by Libba Bray. I have Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I have a very old book, Defiance by CJ Redwine. I've had this for quite a few months and still haven't read it. And the last book I have on my TBR is Shadowfell by Juliet Marillier. And that is all the books, I think there's 29 there, that are on my physical TBR. Some of these are on my Goodreads TBR as well, and yeah, let's join in and let me know if you're taking part in #0/16 in the comments below, and how long is your TBR. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot bigger TBRs than me, but for me that is quite a lot and I want to get it down. So we'll see you all so very soon. Bye!